chapter is entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So this book is in Sanskrit, which is the oldest language in the world. So I'll chant the Sanskrit, and then there's a translation and a purport, a little commentary by the founder of the Hare Krishna movement. You see him sitting behind us. You'll see in every Hare Krishna temple we'll have like an altar which has pictures or a statue or what's called a murti of Krishna or his different expansions. And then they have, to remember our spiritual master, we have him in every temple. So this is there's a commentary written by him. So this is the Sanskrit. Devyeshu gunamayi mamar maya duratya mameva ye pravantyante maitam tarantite. So we can repeat the word for word translation. So repeat after me. Daivi, transcendental. He, certainly. Esha, this. Gunamayi, consisting of the three modes of material nature. Mama, my. Maya, energy. Durataya, very difficult to overcome. Mam, unto me. Eva, certainly. Yeah, those who. Pravantyante, surrender. Maitam, disillusory energy. Taranti, overcome. Te, they. Translation: this divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of his energies and are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are eternal. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, the illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nitya Bada, or eternally conditioned. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain day in material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult, even though that material nature is an inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as follows: Mai tu prakritim vidyam, mainam tu maheshwaram. Although Maya, illusion, is false or temporary, the background of Maya is the supreme magician, the personality of Godhead, who is Maheshwara, the supreme controller. Another meaning of guna is rope. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service or Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of illusory energy, can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. He orders this release out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul and out of his parental affection for the living entity who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Therefore, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. The words Mam Eva are also significant. Mam means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, not Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnations of Rajagun, passion, and Tamagun, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya, therefore he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Vedas confirm this in the phrase Tam eva viditva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata savesham Vishnu eva na samsayaha. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. End of purport. Om Gyan Divinandasya Gyanana Shalakya Chakshamitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swavedantikam Rancha Kapatirubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevcha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasiri Gauda Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are trapped by material nature. And how is this illusion, this trap has taken place? So it's described here, these three modes of material nature has trapped us. So what are these three modes of material nature? So these three modes of material nature are three. They're known as goodness, passion, and ignorance. So everything in this material world is bound by these three modes of material nature. Times of the day, different music, different food, different activities, mentalities, all under these modes. And they're always trying to fight for supremacy. Let me give an example. So mode of ignorance, if you're in the mode of ignorance or affected by it, you may be feeling very lazy, or you may be a student and some assignments coming up, and you procrastinate like anything. You can get it done in maybe an hour max, but you're like, no, I'll keep it off. And then you stay up to 2 or 3 a.m. to finish it off the day before it's due. So that's procrastination. You may feel lazy, and you may feel like you do something that is not beneficial to you. Maybe binge on Netflix or something like that. It doesn't benefit you, but you just feel that something is pushing you towards that direction. So that's a mode of ignorance. It's just like you're kind of like a sloth. So mode of passion, you may see that anywhere, anytime. It means that you have lots of desires, and you're always lamenting about what you missed out in the past, and what you're going to hanker after in the future. I'm going to get this, once I get that job, once I get this relation, once I travel to this country. I know many South Africans want to go to Australia. Once I get to Australia, then my life is good, There's many there. Or, yes, and then you're always hankering. You're always like busy to do so many things. You may get like that second job or that third job. It's like, yeah, I'm going to make so much, but nothing gets done, You still have to pay so many taxes, or you have to spend on medical bills because you got so sick from working so hard, like this. And then mode of goodness, this is the symptom of mode of goodness, that you're peaceful, you're satisfied, you have knowledge, you always act with knowledge, you think before you do something, and you're in the present. So in mode of ignorance, you're always thinking about the past. Mode of passion, you're always thinking about the future. And mode of goodness, you're always in the present. So you're very, and you're quite regulated. You're not doing things that are just like sporadic. You pretty much do the same thing at the same time every day. Actually, that makes the mind very peaceful. So these are the three modes of material nature. And you can find these even in different parts of the day. So mode of goodness is symptomized by pretty much from like 4 a.m. to about 7 or 8 a.m. And actually, an hour and a half before sunrise is the best time for spiritual practice when you do your meditation. This is recommended in all spiritual traditions, religions, that an hour and a half before sunrise to do your prayers or your spiritual study or your mantra meditation. This is the best time. And this is symptomized by the mode of goodness. The mode of passion, that kicks in when everyone goes to work. You see it, peak hour traffic. Dun, dun, I gotta go make my money. Road rage, How dare you get in the front of me? Everyone's just pushing, So that goes on the whole day to get things done. And then mode of ignorance kicks in, pretty much after sundown, at 9, 10 o'clock, that's when your brothels and bars and all the main crimes take place, usually from like 9 p.m. to about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And then mode of goodness kicks in again. So even music, mode of goodness, maybe your Mozart or something that's a bit more calming, a nice flute sound, or the sound of a waterfall like this, water drops. And mode of passion may be like, I don't know, your electronic music or something. Go, get it, And your mode of ignorance, I don't know, heavy death metal or something like that. Something of that doesn't elevate the consciousness, that keeps you low. And even different foods is also in different modes. Meat and liquor, that's in the mode of ignorance. It's all fermented. It's all old. Apparently once you kill the animal, it's already decomposition takes place already. So like this. Mode of passion, it's like foods that are too sour, too salty, very spicy, like that. So people in the mode of passion, they like that type of food. And mode of goodness, it's that food that gives you long life. It has natural fats, and it's pleasing to the heart. So this is like your fruits, your sugar, your wheat, your vegetables. These are foods in the mode of goodness. So we can see that you can look outside and for yourself, what mode is going on in different rooms, in different areas with different people. Which mode are they mixed up in? And this is what's keeping us in this material world. Even the mode of goodness is an entangling factor. Because these modes will never stay there. They're always like fighting for position. Like waves in the ocean, always tossing us here and there. So, to understand our predicament, we have to understand who we are. Okay, these things are influencing us, but how do we understand we need to understand our position. Like you're in a map, and you need to find you are here first, before you can make your step forward, right? Because you see all the troubles in the world, and your own troubles in your own life. So what's my first step forward? So you need to know where you are. So Bhagavad Gita teaches about the self. Dios minyata dehe komanom yamanam jara tatata hantara prapti diras tacha namuyati. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that we're a soul inside a body, and that body goes through changes from babyhood, childhood, youth to old age. And at death, it goes into another body. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. This is the understanding that we are not these material bodies with all its labels. We have so many labels: age, I'm young, I'm old. You have gender, male, female, different jobs. I'm an electrician, I'm a IT professional, I'm a business owner, I drive a truck, I'm unemployed, I'm a student. But this is all labels. It could be nationality. I'm South African, I'm Russian, I'm Indian, I'm Australian, I'm American. So like you have to prove it by your accent. And also, so you see all these things are subject to change. You can change your nationality, go overseas, get new citizenship, and you go to the ceremony, I give my life to this country. Or you can change your job, your age is always changing. You used to like a different type of music before, now you like something else, or you act more mature now. Maybe you act more immature, I don't know. Comparing to your age. And even your gender can be changed. People are changing gender even. But you still remain the same, the witness of the change. Even one can change their skin color. Michael Jackson proved that. That you can change even your skin color. But who is the witness of all these changes? So that is the self. That is the spirit soul. And it's said, the scientists say, every 7 years, all the cells in the body are completely replaced. That's not, every time you look into the mirror, you think, hey, beautiful, hey, gorgeous, looking good. It's a different person, I'm sorry. It's not who you are. We keep changing all the time. This body is always changing, we remain the same, we're witnessing it. Even in our language, it's always changing. And then, if I can can you volunteer for me? Okay, come stand here. Give him a clap. So you can face them. And I ask you to point to your shoulder.
My shoulder?
Yeah, you have one? Yeah. Okay, very nice. Point to your elbow. Yes, point to your nose. Point to your ear. Point to your knee. Now point to you. That's your chest.
Yeah.
Point to you. It's still your chest. Still your chest. Inside your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still your chest. But you, come on. Point to you. Yeah. Did a circle around your head. All right, give him a clap. Thank you so much. So you can see that even in our language, if I say, these are my glasses, this is my garland, this is my t-shirt, it's all separate from me, from the things. For me, I'm the self. Who is that? We don't say we say my hand. We don't say I hand. We say my head, not I head. Say my mind, when not I mind. But who's the owner of all these things? So that's the spirit soul. So we're forgetting all about the true self. We're doing everything for the body. And that body is actually material. And the soul is spiritual. So the difference between the material body, or this material world, and the spirit soul is 3 qualities of the soul. It's eternal, full of knowledge or consciousness, and it's full of bliss. Whereas the body, it's temporary. Doesn't last forever, unfortunately. There's an expiry date on it. Once you're born, there's an expiry date already there. Apparently it's written on your hand. If you're good at palmistry, you'll know when the expiry date kicks in, or the deadline. So it's temporary. So then if you identify with that body, then there's anxiety. That's why we're always trying to protect ourselves in so many ways, trying to keep healthy, going to the doctor, avoiding pandemics and stuff like this, just because we identify with the body. But actually, we live forever. That's pretty much who we are. So the soul is actually fully conscious. It's alive. You can tell what's the difference between a live body and a dead body, right? Maybe you've been to a funeral, and it's someone's grandparents or someone's parents or brother or sister, and they're there crying, and they're like, what are they saying? She's gone. He's gone. But imagine a little kid is there. They're like, what are you talking about? Grandfather's still there. What do you mean he's gone? He's there. He's just sleeping or just lying down. No. You know that's actually the soul has left the body. Like that. So it's actually the soul that's animating the body, kind of like a glove. And on its own, it's dead. But you put your hand in there, it becomes animated. So it's actually the soul that's animating the body. Kind of like a drive in a car, You keep driving, and then the car gets into an accident. Even though it's like $1 million car, everyone's worried, is the driver okay? The driver is more important than the car. So in the same way, the soul is more important than the body. It's actually always dead. It's never really alive. So the soul is eternal, full of consciousness, and it's full of bliss, full of happiness. We always want to have a good time. But the body, unfortunately, is full of misery. And you're thinking, no, I can have so much fun with my body. Look what I can do with my body, You show how much you can enjoy with your body. But really, can you really enjoy so much with this body? Say if I get my thumb, and then I say, oh, such a nice thumb. I wrap it up in silk. I show off how cool it. Maybe I'm a hand model. I get a lot of money from my thumb. But if I get my thumb and I get a hammer, bang! The pain compared to the pleasure you derive from it is greatly proportionally different. It's so much more. But the soul is actually always wanting ever-increasing happiness. That's the reason why we do anything. Why we go to school for like 15, 20 years. If you're a PhD, maybe 25 years. Why you go to a job every day. Why you travel. Why you have relationships. Why you do anything is pretty much for happiness. But unhappiness comes automatically. Distress comes, isn't it? You never try. No one tries for it. We don't try for it, but it comes. So it's a bit of a problem. So, what is the thing that gives us most happiness in life? Most of the time, people say sex, money, and prestige. This is what everyone's chasing after in this material world. But they always run into trouble. You just look at any celebrity. So many drug overdoses, so many suicides, so many scandals. They always run into a great misery. And even if you were to have the perfect material life, unfortunately, you still have to face disease, old age, and death. No one wants it, no one can cure it, but no one can avoid it. And the most amazing thing in this world was asked by a great king, and he said, the most amazing thing in this world is that everyone will see their family, their friends, people on TV, all facing death. But they themselves think, no, this won't happen to me. This is the most amazing thing. This is the illusion. We identify with that which is temporary, full of ignorance, and full of misery. This is the illusion that we're trapped in. So we need to identify with reality, who we really are, which is that we live forever, we know everything, and we're always going to have a good time. Sound good? Would you like to identify with that? Yes, this is what we need to identify with. So how to act on that spirit soul platform. So this is when the God comes into play. You may think, yeah, I can think I'm a spirit soul. What's God got to do with it? So then the spirit soul is actually a part and parcel of the supreme soul, or God, and there's so many names for that supreme soul. Allah, Krishna, Jehovah, Yahweh, Buddha, Govinda, so many names for the supreme, because God has unlimited qualities and relationships. So we are part and parcel. So actually we're the same in quality as God. We're one in quality. We're eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. God is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. But in quantity, we're different. So we're the small soul and God is the big soul. So we're kind of like, God is like the ocean and we are like a drop from that ocean. Same in quality, it has salt in the drop, salt in the ocean, but the quantity is more. Or like the sun globe and molecule of sun rays. Same in quality, but different in quantity. Like that. So the idea is that being a part of the supreme whole, the complete whole, we act as a servant. We need to connect back. And that's what yoga means. You may have heard of yoga thinking of like, stretches and deep breathing and pranayama and, staying in silence for 10 days at some retreat in a box. Yes, yoga. No, yoga means is to connect the small soul to the big soul in a loving relationship. We practice here what's called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga means with love and devotion. And this bhakti yoga is so powerful. It's so powerful that when you just engage in it, all these modes of material nature that are trapping us to think we're this body, we transcend it right away. There's a verse in the 14th chapter, Mamcha yochena bhakti yogena sevate saganan sametetem brahma bhuyaya kalpate. It said that one who, under all circumstances, engages in bhakti yoga, at once transcends the three modes of material nature, and they're on the platform of Brahman, the spiritual platform. So what does it mean to engage in bhakti yoga? So Narada Muni says, Savapadi vinimuktam tatvinapena minimamalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uchite. That bhakti yoga means to engage these senses of this body in the service of the master of the senses, to God. So the senses belong to him. This body is pretty much made of the senses. And when you do that, two things happen. All the labels that attach to this body, you get rid of them. Upadis, they're called. Savapadi vinimuktam. You're liberated from them. And then tapanavenam namamalam, that you're free from all the karmic reactions that you've engaged in this life. So actually the body you have now, the beautiful body you have now, is due to the activities you did in your previous life. That's pretty much, this is the main definition of karma. So things like science of the soul, karma, reincarnation, yoga, it all is defined in this book, in Bhagavad Gita. So it says karma is the activities pertaining to the next material body. So your next life is up to you. What type of body do you want? If you like to sleep a lot, maybe the human body is not for you. Maybe you need like a grizzly bear body, and then in the winter you can sleep the whole way, 3 months straight. Sounds good, huh? Or maybe you like to eat a lot of meat, a lot of meat. You like blood and flesh. Okay, maybe the human body is not for you. You only got like 2 canine teeth, but you should have like a tiger's body. Little sharp teeth and nice claws and a real quick, powerful digestive system to break it all down. Yeah, that's for you, Or maybe you like to smoke a lot of weed and get stoned. Maybe the human body is not for you. Maybe you need like a koala body. Yes, they're always stoned. They sleep 13 hours a day and they're just getting high on chewing eucalyptus leaves. You see them, they're moving very slow. So maybe that's it. So what is this human body for? It said, Atata Brahma Jigyasa. That now you have the human form of life. It's time to inquire about spirit. It's time to inquire, who am I? Why am I here? What happens to me after death? Why do I have to suffer? I only want happiness. So I need to inquire into this. And that's when spiritual knowledge kicks in. That's the main reason, that's the main purpose of the human form of life, to answer these questions. And it's equipped with higher intelligence to ask it. Animals do not ask these questions. All living entities do 4 things: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So they all eat, they all sleep, we do it too, mating and defending. But if a human just does those 4 and doesn't inquire about spiritual life, you're as good as an animal. You've wasted the human form of life, and in the next life, most likely you will get a lower body. And it's so rare, the human form of life, actually. It's like, how many humans on this planet? Something like 7 billion, right? How many ants in this room? Something like 7 trillion or something like this, you know, just in the room. So what are the odds of you getting another human body? It's so rare and so valuable. So you are so fortunate that you've got in touch with this knowledge. You're so fortunate that you have this human form of life, and that you can utilize it for liberation out of the cycle of birth and death, out of these modes of material nature, out of illusion, identifying with that which is temporary, full of ignorance, and full of misery. So how do we act as a spirit soul? How do we perform bhakti yoga to transcend these 3 modes of material nature, to transcend birth, death, old age, and disease? So there's so many items, activities in bhakti yoga, but the most easiest and sublime activity is chanting the holy name of the Lord. This chanting is so powerful because that name of God, Krishna, is non-different from Krishna himself. It's said when you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, the spiritual energy and Krishna himself are dancing on your tongue. Your tongue becomes a dance floor. Have you ever thought that way before? A dance floor for God. Yes, this is the celebration of Krishna consciousness. It starts just like that, and it keeps going. So this chanting, this mantra that we chant is actually a prayer. It's a prayer to experience unconditional pure love. You know, I've been embarrassed and heartbroken so many times, isn't it? How many times have you been heartbroken in this life? Could be from friends, could be from family, especially when you lose a loved one. You know, you have such a relationship, there's like a juice that you exchange with each other. But then when they leave the body, that's cut off. So imagine when you die, all the relationships you built, all cut off. It's like everyone dies. So the soul needs to experience a love that goes beyond time, where no one dies. So that relationship you can have with Krishna, with God, it never ends. It's eternal. And it's beyond, that love is actually beyond space. You know, I don't know if you experienced it. Maybe you're in primary school and you had the best friend in your class, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna be best friends forever. Yeah, you know, you and me, we're like that, you know. And then the next grade, you're in different classes and not so close anymore, you know, just because of space. But with God, God is omniscient, that He's situated everywhere. He's situated even in your heart. He's so close. You know, you always like, you know, especially when you're in danger, and then you hear a voice from within that says, hey, don't do that. Hey, go this way. Have you ever experienced? It happened to me one time. It happened many times, actually. But I'll speak about one time. So my service, as was mentioned, is that I do Harinama Sankirtan, which is chanting the holy names on the street with music, everywhere. Whenever I go, that's what I do. I do it every day. So I was trapped during lockdown in Melbourne, Australia, which was the most locked down city in the world. They had like 600 days of lockdown or something like that. And they had like stringent curfews, and you only could be out for like 2 hours for recreation, or like that. And only 2 people could gather at a time like this. But it was hilarious because everyone would go out the same time for like their walk and stuff. And there was more people in the street than normally, But it was a great time for Harinama, for doing chanting on the street. And if you made a gathering, the cops will be onto you. And there's like people who didn't like people trying to break the rules. And I didn't care. So we go out, we wear a mask, but then we had like a micro. Actually, we had one of those like fancy masks, like, so many, I don't know what they'll call, like K51s or something like that. So they had some like special thing inside. But like we cut all the layers out, and it looks like it's covered, but actually we can still breathe normally. And then we put like the microphone there, and we can sing, and then everyone's like, because everything was closed, all the bars, all the entertainment, all the cafes, they couldn't do it. They were stuck at home on the internet or at work on Zoom or something like this. So they were like totally on anxiety and like crazy, going a bit nuts. And there was a little bit of warm day, and where we did it was like by a beach, so everyone walks by there. And there was one point people just had enough, and they were kind of just gathering, and there's like a grass area in front of where the beach is. And we went past there. And it was me and another friend. He's a Russian guy, So he don't care for oppression, We must fight back. So he was happy to join me. And we look at this crowd, and he looks at me, and we go, should we go there? And yeah, let's do it, So we go there, and these people go wild, and we're chanting the holy name. They're dancing like crazy, and like people just like ran to it because there was no entertainment at all, no live music, nothing. So they just like ran to it, and they were going crazy, dancing like that. And then we made them chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you can imagine like hundreds of people just going crazy like this, And we're going for it like this, and even for us, it's like ecstasy, Wow, so many people joining in, and such a breakthrough during these like troubled times. And then it was like nearly reaching the peak of this like chanting. And all of a sudden in the heart, something said, get the hell out of here. And I'm thinking, what? It's like, get the hell here right now, So my Russian friend, he's used to me like staking it out longer and longer. And but like I just turned. Usually I stay longer, but I just turned and walked away. And the people like, no, we need more, give us more, don't go away, And I didn't respond. I just kept going, away from the crowd. And as we went away from the crowd, there was like an army of cops going towards the crowd. And I was just like, Krishna in the heart. Krishna was there. He just goes, yeah, that was good, but you have to get out of here. So yes, Krishna is very close. It doesn't matter. There's no question of space. And then this love is beyond time, space, and thought. So you may think of someone, but it's not the same as having them right there with you. But when you think of Krishna, he thinks of you, and you can be even more intimate, connected with him. This is the type of love that's being offered by Krishna through Bhakti Yoga. And the easiest way to connect is through this chanting. And this prayer of chanting means that, O energy of the Lord, Hare, O all-attractive Lord, Krishna, reservoir of pleasure, Rama, please engage me in your service. Because how do you show love? You serve without wanting anything in return. I've been embarrassed trying to serve, my body, my family, my nation, my community, humanity, all living entities, the universe. Still I feel embarrassed. I fall flat on my face with a broken heart. I have an ocean of love to give, but I always put it somewhere limited. I need a reciprocation that's of like an unlimited nature. So God is unlimited, ever expanding. You put your love in Him, and then the reciprocation just overflows onto you, and then it comes out onto everyone else near you. So this is what this chanting does. The more people who get involved, the more powerful it is. Like that. So we have different types of chanting. So some of us have beads who are practicing, and we chant on beads. You'll find beads in all spiritual traditions: Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Catholic. They all have beads where they're calling out to God. You have very nice beads, actually. You see his beads? Amazing. And we chant the mantra on one beat at a time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're praying that we be connected again, that I can experience that unconditional love that I've been looking for. There's chanting like we did in the temple, inside with other devotees. This is called kirtan, and this is also very powerful because all devotees, they've carried some blessings with them because they have done some connection, some service to God. So then along with the chanting, you kind of ride their wave. It feels amazing like this. And then my favorite type of chanting is called Harinama Sankirtan, which means you go out on the streets into the public, people who have no idea what's going on. We're just going to just blast through into their lives with like a bubble of explosive ecstasy happiness, like this. So that's the most amazing one that I experienced, because the nature of the material world is like you're trying to grab everything for yourself. Is it for me? I gotta keep my stuff now, I can't give you. But in the spiritual world, happiness is derived more when you give. The more you give, the more you end up having back. It's like in the material world, everyone is trying to push each other down. It's like everyone's trying to cheat each other. There's those who are being cheated and those who are cheating, just trying to push each other down. Everyone just tries to push themselves up by criticizing someone else. We do this to celebrities all the time. Boost them up. Wow, amazing! Yes, #1 hits or #1 movie. And then we can't wait. We push them so hard, and then we can't wait till some scandal or something happens. So we just cut them down, watch them fall. Yeah, he suffered. I'm so happy. But no, a spiritual realized person is para dukkha dukhi. He feels pain when he sees others suffering. So then he feels so much bliss when they become elevated. This is the mood of a spiritually realized person. This mood of service is actually the mood of Krishna. We see in the Bhagavad Gita, I don't know if you see the cover here. So Krishna is the chariot driver of his friend Arjuna, the warrior. So God is becoming the chauffeur. Can you imagine, like, say, the president of South Africa, he drives up, there's a limo waiting for you, and who's in the front, who's in the driver's seat? What's his name? Who's the president now? Ramaphosa. He's still, huh? Okay. Ramaphosa. His name is very good. Making everyone chant the holy name. Yes, this is also, it's just as powerful. So yes, Ramaphosa is there. Harinama, jump in. But it would be amazing, right? Why would he take such a humble role? So actually Krishna's mood is that, no, I am the Lord and now you should all serve me, bow down, like this. No, he wants to experience what it's like to be subordinate to his loving devotee. This is the greatest happiness God experiences. It's a competition of service. No, it's not me, put you up. No, it's not me, I'll put you up. So the devotee is trying to glorify and push up the Lord. At the same time, the Lord will glorify his devotee. This is the mood of the spiritual world where the soul belongs. In the spiritual world, Every day is a festival. Every day. We don't wait till the weekend. We don't need to drink anything or take any drugs. No. Every moment, every day, we're going to have a festive occasion. Every step's a dance. Every word's a song, and every meal's a big feast. But in the material world, every day is a funeral. Every step, you can die, you know? There's danger at every step. You know, every word is like a criticism, you know? Just jump online and on Facebook, everyone's ready to criticize. You know, your whole life you're being criticized. You know, it's like crickets, you know. Always you hear these crickets of criticism in your life. And like, whatever you desired, your dreams, say you wanted that job or that university degree or that relationship, it always falls short of the dream. Spiritual life, bhakti yoga, this invitation we have for you is to live a life beyond your dreams. Our ability to try and, you know, set up a life of happiness is always limited. We always compromise something. But God has a greater, bigger plan for you. He's the supreme enjoyer. I'm sure He knows how to do it. Who better to party with, you could say. So, by connecting through bhakti yoga, and especially through this chanting, there's also hearing, there's also remembering of Krishna's activities on this planet 5,000 years ago. There's also offering prayers, serving in a temple to the form of Krishna, and just pretty much ultimately what we're supposed to do is surrender everything. And this is what this verse is suggesting, that we surrender our will to Krishna. It's like, I tried my best to try and be happy in this world. Nothing really worked. Let me try your plan. What is it? Let me try it out. So pretty much God's plan is to make sure everyone is happy. And the best way that they can be happy is if they connected to Him. So you may think, no, come on. Give everything to God. You know, I mean, is there anything for me here? Do you ever think about that? I can't give everything to God. I can't give everything to Krishna. There needs to be a little world for me. Don't worry, you'll be fulfilled. Because there's two analogies that illustrate this. Just like if you want to water a tree, you can water each leaf, twig, and branch. Will it nourish the tree and all of it? No. You have to water the root of the tree. So if we give our love, our service, to the root of our existence, just like if you water the root of the tree, all the twigs, the branches, the leaves get full nourishment beyond their own capacity. So if you water the root of our existence, Krishna, God, we'll be fully nourished with love beyond our own capacity. And that includes all our family members, that includes all our nation, all the living entities. Everyone's included in that. Because God is all good. So then His will, doing His service, His mission is also all good. It will benefit everyone. We won't miss out. Another analogy has got to do with the body. So there's different parts of your bodies: eyes, ears, nose, hands, legs. They all do so many things. But who gets all the food? The stomach, right? That's not fair. You know, the hands are doing a lot of work. Eyes have to look where we're going. The nose has to smell whether it's good or not to eat. The legs have to run everywhere. So shouldn't they get something? So they all go on strike. That's it. We're done with the stomach. He's just getting everything. Stuff it. Stuff the stomach. Now it's our turn. You know? So then the hands, they grab a piece of cake, try to absorb it in itself. It doesn't work. You know, the eyes try and get something, put it in there. You know, the feet, you know, they start smooshing different foods. Nothing's working. And all of a sudden, all the different bodily parts start losing energy. The eyes, things get blurry, the hands all limp, and the legs can't really stand up anymore. What's going on? It's because they haven't fed the stomach. Because if you feed the stomach, then all the nutrients required will go to all the different parts of the body. So us being a part of the complete whole, part of the Supreme Soul, instead of being the master, we are the servant. And this is the greatest position in the universe. Sounds really bad. It sounds like, what, you want me to be a slave? No, no. We're always serving, actually. You can't avoid it. Doesn't matter if you're an atheist, a Hindu, a Muslim, a Jew, a Buddhist. Doesn't matter. You have to serve. You do it at your job. You work for your boss. You have to serve. Even the president has to serve the voters to get their vote. Even in a family, kids serve the parents, parents serve the kids. No matter any situation, that service is always there. This is called Sanatan Dharma, the eternal essence of the soul. So it's got nothing to do with like, oh, this is a religious faith, this is what they believe in. No, this is spiritual science. This applies in all circumstances. We all have to change our bodies. The Muslim, the Jew, the Christian, the atheist, all have to change their bodies. They all have to serve. They're all searching for unconditional love. They're all searching for happiness. So this book is actually designed for all living entities. This Bhakti Yoga is for all living entities. Everyone can join this in this service to the Supreme. And when we do that, then we experience that love that's beyond time, space, and thought. Unconditional love. It's called Savai Pumso Paro Dhammo Yato Bhakti Yadokside Haitukiya Pratiyata Yadap Mesupasidati. That supreme dharma, that supreme occupation of the human being, is to render loving service to the transcendental Lord. Without any motivation, without any interruption, this will completely satisfy the self. And how is that done? Through this chanting of Harinama Sankirtan. This is called the Yuga Dharma. So this Yuga is known as Kali Yuga, the Yuga of quarrel and hypocrisy, cheating and fights. Put two people together, they'll fight for sure. You know, people lie to your face all the time. We lie to people. It's like common practice. So to get rid of this type of atmosphere, when the holy name goes out, it's like the sun shining in darkness. Doesn't matter how much darkness it is, the light will always shine through. And then you see reality in the sunshine. You see yourself, you see your relationship with everything else, and what you should do in life. You see your purpose. And anyone who gets in touch with this transcendental sound of Krishna's name will also get to see something amazing. So I'll tell one story to illustrate this. So one time we were chanting in New York City, and I used to be part of a group of like 10 monks, and we're all from different countries, traveling around the world doing this every day. So we got into the metro, and we're still playing the instruments and everything. It's a packed carriage. And there was like sort of like this homeless drunk guy, you know, and he starts getting angry at us. And he goes, "You Hare Krishnas, you guys better get off the next stop. Someone's gonna get hurt." Like this. We kept playing, we didn't care. And then we had like someone playing accordion. And, we'll sing this tune. You know, it goes like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this guy would swear at us in the tune. "You Hare Krishnas, better get off now, I'm gonna kill you." So the whole carriage is watching this guy. All of a sudden, this guy, he gets up from his chair and he's like walking towards the singer with the accordion. And he gets right in his face. And then the singer gets scared. He goes, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare." And this drunken guy goes, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Look, you're not even singing anymore. You guys better get off the next stop or someone's gonna get hurt." And he sits back down. So the whole carriage is watching this, you know. For some reason, we keep playing, but we play louder. So the drum, he's playing louder. You know, I'm playing cartels, I play louder. And he's just calling everyone up. You're dead. You're dead, like this. And we have one monk with us. He rides a bicycle. And he rides behind the Harinam party. and he has a basket of books, so he gives books to people. He says who's interested, and he gives them books. And he has a vuvuzela. He been to South Africa. He's from Czech. He has vuvuzela, and he starts going, "Boom, boom," like this. And then the angry guy goes, you're dead, like this. And then he has a cap, and then he pulls it down, and he starts shaking, and he's turning red, like this, shaking, turning red, like this. And there's one man sitting across from him, and he's watching him, Everyone's watching, but he can see a bit more closely, So he sees from underneath the cap, there's like a small smile coming, like this. The man sitting opposite the drunkard, he just goes crazy, and he starts running up and down the carriage, telling everyone, "They're changing him. They're changing him. I can't believe it. They're changing him." Like this. And then all of a sudden, the smile gets too big, and then he looks up and he's like this. And we're like, we give him a mantra card, and then he leads the kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whole carriage just erupts in applause. Yeah, woohoo, yeah, right, like this, And yeah, he was just so happy, And then we got to our stop, and everyone cheers us. That guy goes, "Yeah, you guys did it, you changed him, you guys did it," like this. And then the drunken guy, he waves at us, pulls a big bottle of gin and goes, "Hey," like this. And I mean, that happened in a span of like 15, 20 minutes. He was like a pure demon ready to kill us. And then he just transformed into like this saintly personality, It was amazing. He was in the deepest, darkest illusion. But just by the power of the sound vibration, the holy name, and having devotees there chanting, he saw reality, which means I'm eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. And I deserve. My place is to be with Krishna. He experienced that. So this is the power of chanting every day and keeping illusion away. Hare Krishna. Is there any comments or questions? Spoke on a lot of sections. If you're going to ask a question, I need you to hold this little mic so I catch on the recording. No questions. I travel around the world, guys,
May I make a comment, please?
Yeah. You can just hold in your hands, okay.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Actually, Prabhu, you were saying that in the spiritual world, we try to glorify each other instead of bring each other down. So I want to take one moment to glorify you, please.
No.
So now you have to sit there and take it, because you said it's a spiritual thing. So the first time that I met Prabhu, I didn't actually meet Prabhu, I heard Prabhu. I was working here in Hatfield Plaza, and I was standing in my shop, and I was just hearing, it was so random. I was so new to Krishna consciousness, and I just hear kirtan coming, someone is chanting inside the wall, And here's Prabhu, and it's kirtan, and Prabhu was with him, I think. And I suddenly see these two saffron-covered individuals chanting all the way to the Pick and Pay. And then when they got to the Pick and Pay, they ended and they went in. And then I followed them. I introduced myself, and it so happens they were there to buy some cheese for offering for the Lord. And then when they left the Pick and Pay, they carried on coming back. So I wanted to say that Prabhu's not only, when we said that he goes out every day chanting Harinam, we're not just saying that, he literally does that, even when he's just going to go buy cheese. And I find that very inspiring, Prabhu. Thank you. I feel like maybe I can also imbibe that type of mood, even though I can't chant, but maybe when I go buy cheese, I can distribute a book, you know, or say a kind word to somebody or give them some prasadam. So thank you for being inspirational, Prabhu. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your talk today. It was really
It's
wonderful.
okay, I don't even
Thank you.
remember that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so you brought up some other thought. So my spiritual master, His Holiness Kadamba Swami, said that when you first come to Krishna consciousness, you get what's called the nectar cup. It's like a thimble, it's very small. So you use it to catch nectar, you know? So maybe it's a class, or like a kirtan, or prashadam, maybe a few more prashadam. And you know, you relish that nectar from that cup. But then when you use that nectar cup to catch nectar and give it to others, your cup expands, it gets bigger. So then you catch more nectar, drink it, and then give it, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point that you start drowning in it, anandam buddhi vadana, that bliss. So yes, it's when you see other people happy from connecting to Krishna, actually you get so much more happiness. This is the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came in this Kali Yuga to give us Krishna prema. This is the. We don't have to wait for the spiritual world, you know. We can have it here and now. We don't have to deal with this material world so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Sorry. Because I know it's going to be really good questions, so I want to record it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
It's okay, just hold in your hand like this. It's okay.
Like this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
No, firstly, thank you for the wonderful class and for your association. And we really appreciate, all the good advice that you've given. So you said you've been around the world, and we are aware of that. As ISKCON Pretoria is a preaching center, what advice can you give us to attract the youth and younger devotees? What advice can you give us? What are they doing around the world?
Yes, no problem. Very nice question. So, you're very fortunate that you have this university just here in Hatfield. And in Hatfield, all the university students stay there. So, to have maybe a weekly, some book distribution or Sankirtan, I know it's intimidating to walk around and chant and dance. That I can understand. But if you come all together as a project, where you have like a book table and maybe some prasadam and then maybe some sit-down kirtan that you do weekly or every 2 weeks, and at a time where there's many people, especially students in that area, at least they'll get to know you. What is this about? You know? And you can just say, just up the road here we have a center, you can learn more about it. You find out what they're into. If it's more kirtan, okay, we'll teach you kirtan. If it's philosophy, we'll give you more philosophy. If it's prasadam, we'll give you prasadam. So I guess that initial connection will help. We have to sort of go out of our way to connect with them. And actually it's a lot of things are online. So you do online events as well. Okay, we're going to have mantra meditation night here. And they just register online, they come through. And they can come for that. If you have a university club, that's also very helpful. You have one, right? Yeah. So I think in South Africa alone, your greatest, it's actually like it's a skill, that you can be so involved in universities. Because in any other country, they won't let any religious group in the university, or they will restrict you so much that you can't really connect to anyone. So here, you can talk about God in the university. You can do kirtan even on campus sometimes. You give prasadam. You don't have to worry about so many rules and regulations. So actually, I feel if you put pretty much 99% of your energy into the university, preaching, connecting with students, and they don't have to come here straight away. They just have to associate. Our main commodity is the personality of a devotee. This is like the greatest commodity we have to offer. So actually we have to be personal, believe it or not. We are a personal movement. And yeah, when they feel that connection, that wait, this person is different, this person actually cares for me, this person has great knowledge, this person is living a life of purity. I don't have friends like this. They're very rare devotees. So these are a few ideas we could try and implement in connecting to young people particularly. And if you want more devotees to keep coming, then you just need more hearing and chanting. That makes it, especially dancing, something more vibrant. Keep it vibrant, More hearing, chanting, keep the sound vibration going, and usually like more devotees get involved. And find out what devotees are passionate about in devotional service, even like if some are passionate about Harinama, okay, let's encourage them, organize a Harinama. Someone's passionate about doing like kirtan festivals, okay, they organize, especially if they're younger. All right, you do it, Okay, let's do a weekly book reading of the Bhagavad Gita. All right, you organize it. So there's so many avenues in Bhakti Yoga that whatever activity you're kind of like attracted to, it can be used in Krishna's service. Even Arjuna likes to fight. Yeah, fight for me. So, yeah, so this dovetailing, this yukta vairagya is a prime thing. So yes, let's find out what the devotees want to do for Krishna, especially in terms of outreach. And let's, support them as well. This is also, is that okay? Thank you.